We've been taking a tour of the state's biggest ticket farms, towns that cite so many drivers the cash flow makes up a huge chunk of their budgets. None at 40%, Morrison at 52%, Mountain View 53%. Now we visit the biggest little ticket farm in the state.
Yes, Campo thrives on tickets.
Campo, a town of 107 people about 7 miles from the Oklahoma border.
There's two things that require a speed trap.
Where Officer Brad Viner,
Number one, you have to have people speeding.
watches over Highway 287.
And then you have to have somebody enforcing the law.
He helps rake in 93% of the town's budget by ticketing speeders.
Basically, the police department pays for the town.
He strongly believes the 30-mile-per-hour speed limit in town must be enforced, regardless if it's a moneymaker or not.
Everybody's treated the same. If you're 10 or more over, you should get a ticket.
But what he says next has us asking some serious questions.
Do you have a quota?
No,
No quota.
no quota.
Do you have a level of tickets that you have to write?
Not necessarily that we have to write, but if we don't write them, basically, we were told the last couple meetings, that if you don't write these traffic tickets, you won't have a job.
When we came to Campo,
Every town's got politics.
we drove right into a small town scandal stemming from what happens in this surveillance video. We've learned some of the town's ticket revenue ended up in the personal gas tanks of the former mayor and his twin sons. One of the brothers, a Campo cop. They were caught on camera 2 years ago pumping $5,000 worth of town revenue into their cars and trucks. And guess who helped turn them into the sheriff?
Sometimes you have to take action against people you know very well, or somebody you might have had barbecue with yesterday.
After former Mayor Ray Johnson and his sons pleaded guilty to misdemeanor theft charges last year, there's been a shortage of town revenue, but plenty of tension. Viner is now the only cop on the force and is making a serious allegation against the new mayor.
Who told you to write more tickets?
Let's see, we had the mayor.
Okay, Campo Town Council meeting, March 23rd, 2015. Call to order.
We had to ask Mayor Tim Gray the simple question we've asked all over Colorado.
Is this public safety, or is this about making the town money?
It's about public safety. If anyone's speeding through the town, that's a safety issue for our kids and for the rest of us. So I guess in that sense, it's good government.
I just completely dispute that, and I think it's a nice cover. It's a nice statement, and I'm sure they have the evidence to show that indeed people were going so many miles over the speed limit. But come on, it's a complete trap. I mean, it really is revenue.
You feel that they're sugarcoating it with this public safety claim?
Totally. You can't have your town completely dominated by that kind of revenue and claim that it's such a public safety risk.
And what about Viner's allegation of policing for profit?
Lately, I've heard some things that some members of the board, specifically you, Mayor, have been pressuring officers to write more tickets for revenue. Is that true?
That would be an incorrect characterization. What I have said is, yes, if we don't have revenue coming in, and presently, as you've correctly said, most of our revenue comes in from tickets, then we won't have the money to pay anyone, and at some point, we'll reduce. Not to the point of dissolving the town, hopefully, but we'll have to reduce police force.
Reduce the police force of one. If you're Officer Viner, what would you do if you heard that? Would that change your motivation? Viner says no.
It is a tough position, but unfortunately, the public safety comes first. And I'm not, it falls under integrity. What am I willing to do? What am I not willing to do? I'm not willing to change the way I do things because, the town may need more money.